Hi, I'm a terrible thing, and it is raining outside, the wind is blowing, and we're going to do another countdown game. This is the second in a series of text adventure games leading up to the final game in the Jizo Mythos. This one is called The Soul. January 17th, 2189. You joined a fad religion because you need direction in your life, and needed something to do with your free time. You were so engrossed in attending prayer meetings and other organized events that you didn't notice eyes watching you from the shadows. And then, they introduced you to the truth. The true organization behind the faith. The so-called Order of Blessed Agonies. And that was even better. You'd always regarded pain with a subdued fascination, even from childhood, testing the very limits of your endurance. And as for purification, you certainly felt you needed that. The initiation was almost complete. You were sore and bleeding from the purification of your body, and you were still dizzy and spaced out from the purification of the mind. Next, they said, came the soul. The aspect that can only be purified once. The deletion of something close to you. Something upon which you relied upon emotionally. You were brought to a featureless white chamber deep within headquarters, and there he was. Don't worry, they said. We make it easy for you. And then they handed you a gun. Countdown 2, The Soul. An interactive fiction by Yahtzee. Assessment chamber. You're in an utterly featureless white room. Everything is painted a flat, spotless, shining white. The fluorescent ceiling lights merge seamlessly with the paintwork, brightly illuminating the room. You can't even see where the door was, so utterly flawless is the constant white. Your boyfriend, Jason, is here, gagged and lashed to a chair. Look at Jason. Before you found the Order of Blessed Agonies, Jason was the greatest thing that had ever happened to you. He was, still is, your spouse. Smart, handsome, and tolerant of your eccentricities. They don't appear to have used much force in capturing him, since his body appears without blemish and unharmed. He is tied to the chair, and is staring at you calmly, perhaps assuming by your presence here this is just a joke or sexual adventure. I think I'm supposed to kill Jason. The gun coughs and jumps in your hand. The featureless whiteness of the room is splattered with red. Jason's head hangs forward. Initiates are coming into the room now to congratulate and welcome you, but their voices are faint beneath the sound of the blood roaring in your ears. That was 2 weeks ago, and you've not slept comfortably since. The memory of murdering your lover comes back to you in your nightmares again and again. After moving into the female dormitories at Order headquarters, it only took a day for you to realize that becoming a cultist was the stupidest thing you'd ever done. The bad nightmares are the ones where you simply relive the murder. The worst ones are the happy ones. In those, Jason is alive. You never joined the Order. And the two of you have a wonderful house and a happy marriage. And you wake up again in the militaristic cot of the Order dormitory. And all you can do is stuff the corner of the pillow down your throat to muffle your sobs. One of those dreams had jerked you awake. You lay musing on your own foolishness for a while, until it becomes clear that you never be able to go back to sleep. You decide to pop outside for some fresh air. Women's dormitory. This is a fairly large, elongated room with most of the available space filled by bunk beds. In the twilight, you can just about see the snoring forms of the other female cultists, their chests rising and falling with their breath. A glowing rectangle indicates the presence of a door in the southern wall. Okay, let's go south. Hallway. Everything in the Order headquarters is so infuriatingly clean. The floor is shiny and reflective. The walls light and cheerful. Absolutely nothing indicates that it's owned by a murdering, pain-worshipping cult. Double doors to your west lead to the courtyard, while ordinary doors lie to the north, east, and south. Alright, so let's try north. Oh wait, I just came from the north. What am I thinking? East. The door leads to the men's dormitory. You're not permitted there. Okay, so we'll go south instead. This way leads to the basement stairwell. You've got no reason to go there. Alright. Isn't that all the directions? I guess I can go to the courtyard in the west. This is courtyard. This is the open-air garden provided as an area for meeting and relaxation. Benches and picnic tables are provided, deliberately positioned under the boughs of beautifully maintained trees. A row of flower beds runs the length of the enclosure, blooming with roses so deeply red that you wonder stupidly if Jason's blood was used to water them. An unfamiliar stranger is standing in the center of the courtyard with his back to you. Look at stranger. He is wearing a red robe, which could possibly once have been the robe of a member of the order. However, the cowl and sleeves appear to have been torn off. His head is completely bald. That may sound familiar from the end of Trilby's notes. Suddenly, the stranger turns around. "Delia," he says. "Delia Renault." You start the sudden movement, but manage to find your voice. "How do you know my name?" "I know many things," he replies, as though this were an explanation. "I also know that you murdered your lover and are filled with regret. You want to redeem yourself, do you not? You wish to be forgiven for the life you stole?" All you can do is nod dumbly. How could he possibly know this? You've never mentioned your feelings to anyone. "I am an enemy of the Order," he continues. "My organization is building a case against them. If you can help us, we will protect you. But you must do something for us first. Are you willing?" "Yes," you say. There doesn't seem to be any point in resisting. Somewhere in the basement of this facility, a special knife is being kept. Freehorn's blade. An artifact the cultists hold in very high regard. I want you to steal it for me. Then bring it to me here. Once this task is complete, you will be taken to a safe house. Is everything clear? There's something about his voice and the way his eyes flash as he speaks. Somehow you know that even though, had you been a loyal member of the cult, you would still find yourself acceding to his demands. Yes. Then return here when you have the blade. With that, he vanishes. Later, you find you cannot remember if he left the area by foot or simply disappeared into thin air. Okay, go back to the hallway and then down into the basement. Let's do the south. Stairwell. You're standing at the top of a wobbly metal stairwell that leads down into the basement of the facility. For some reason, there are traces of sawdust and rock dust up down by the steps. From below, you hear the occasional ominous creak of metal. The door to the rest of the facility lies north. We'll go down. Bottom of the stairwell. You're in a small, dingy connecting hallway. From the undecorated walls and narrow movement space, you get the definite impression of an underground bunker, although the ceiling is surprisingly high. A set of metal stairs lead back up to the main facility, while metal sliding doors lie to the north and west. All right, let's try north first. Museum. This is a small, dimly lit room which seems to have been put aside as a museum or display room. Privately, you consider it another testament to the collective self-righteousness of the Order. The display seems to be incomplete. The only features are a magnificent painting on the north wall and a pedestal in the center of the room. The only way out is to the south. On the pedestal is Freehorn's blade. You can see a page here. All right, so look at the painting. It depicts the prince, the incredibly tall man in black you've seen in other pieces of order artwork. He's holding out his arms and standing behind three men. On the left, a youngish man dressed in 18th century as an 18th century fop. In the center, a dark-haired man in a hat wearing a turn of the millennium garb. And on the right, a figure you recognize as Garriott, the current administrator of the order. So I think that the man on the left is probably Freehorn. The one in the center is possibly Trilby. And that the one on the right, obviously, is Garriott, a character we have not been introduced to yet. Take the page. Why can't I type? Ooh. My keyboard is dying. Better plug that in after I'm done with this. Okay. Taken. Read page. Sorry, I can't see my keyboard. The lights are dying on it. Book of the Bridge, Chapter 2. 1. The spying thief came first to the bridgekeeper and was greatly consumed with fear. I know you, bridgekeeper. I know the scheme of the prince that allows you to remain after death. I know this house that is your mind. I know all this, and I will foil your plan. 2. And the prince knew that the spying thief spoke the truth, and allowed the bridgekeeper to throw down the spying thief, and truly did he know the name of the king. 3. And when he saw what had become of the spying thief, the covetous thief was consumed with fear, and with the fear came rage. I will not follow the spying thief in death. I will not follow. I curse his house and all of us, this house, for in our sin we have cursed ourselves. 4. But the cunning thief was steadfast, and he ignored the ravings of the covetous thief to continue his debauchery with the thief wife and thief son. 5. And the prince said, I will not allow the cunning thief to disregard the message of the king. His importance is far too great to allow to slip away or be corrupted by the foulness of his fellows. So I will make an example for him. Okay, go back to the bottom of the stairwell. Up. North, then west. This is the open air, blah, blah, blah. Oh, did I forget to take the knife? Jesus. Down. North. Take blade. Okay. You stop yourself just in time. Judging by the way the top of the pedestal wobbled as you moved the knife, there's some kind of security mechanism, possibly a weighted one. Oh, so there's a puzzle here. Alright. Let's go west from here. Security room. You're in a room painted dark gray that seems to have been set aside for security and maintenance. In the corner is a compact monitoring computer with several screens. The sort of thing used to operate security cameras. There's also a fuse box nearby, mounted on the north wall. Doors lie east and west. In the corner of the room is a sealed steel barrel. Okay. Although the lid is sealed on quite tightly, it appears to emit a thick stench of petrol fumes. Okay, so that's a barrel of gasoline. And let's see if we can go west. Oh, yep, there it goes. My keyboard died. I have to use the other one. Alright. You are in a broad hallway. Oh, okay. Judging by the way it curves, it probably forms a complete circle, although the way north is blocked by construction barriers. The decor here is less like a bunker and more like some kind of high-tech laboratory, with a lot of stainless steel plastics incorporated into the building material. There are doors running along the exterior wall leading south and east, while the corridor continues to the west. Alright. there's quite a bit down here. Let me see. So we came from the west. And from here I can go south, east, and west. We came from the east, so let's try going south. The door refuses to open. Security lock must already be installed. Okay, we'll try west again. Southwestern main corridor. You're in the southwestern quarter of a wide curving hallway which continues east and north. More interestingly, though, is a large heavy steel door installed in the interior wall to the northeast. Alright, let's try northeast. The door is extremely heavy, and there doesn't seem to be any visible opening mechanism. Okay. Okay. Northern main corridor. The hallway comes to an end here, with more construction barriers blocking the way north and northeast. They do, however, leave enough room just about to squeeze through an open doorway to the northwest. Okay, we'll go northwest. Empty room. This room is clearly still under construction, as the walls and floor are still undecorated concrete. Exposing wires dangle from the ceiling, and a stack of ceiling panels in the corner await proper placement. Open doors lead northeast and northwest. Okay, we'll go northwest. Southeast and northwest, rather. Kitchen. This room is obviously unfinished, but seems to be already being used for the construction crew as a kitchen. A dusty counter is here, and a non-functioning refrigerator. A dining table is still arranged skewiff. I didn't even know that was a word. In the corner, and judging by the rim, marks have clearly been used for tea breaks. The only door is to the southeast. On the counter is a bread knife. Okay, so this is like an Indiana Jones thing. We're going to take the bread knife and then head, where is it? Southeast. And then we're in the empty room, blah, blah, blah. Lead southwest and northwest. So we just came from the northwest, so we go southeast again. Northern main corridor. Hallway comes to an end to the north and northeast. So we'll go north. Wait, no? Blocking the way. I'm sorry, I just read that too quickly. Okay. The hallway comes to an end here with more construction barriers blocking the way north and northeast. They do, however, leave enough room to just about squeeze through the open door to the northwest. So what direction can I go? South? You're in the southwestern quarter of a wide curving hallway, which leads to the east and north. More interestingly, okay, we're going to go east. You're in a laboratory hallway, judging by the way it curves. There are doors running along the exterior wall leading south and east, while the corridor continues to the west. We just came from the east. Or we came east from, so that's from the west. So we can go south or east. What's east? Security room. Okay, good. That's where we wanted to be. Fuse box in the corner. East again. Bottom of the stairwell. Now we can go north. Museum. Okay. Oops. That's what I get for trying to use the laptop keyboard. Okay, switch. Knife for blade. Okay. Put knife on pedestal. You put the bread knife on the pedestal. Take blade. Taken. Okay. South. Up. North. West. There we go. As you slip into the center of the courtyard, you hear a familiar voice directly behind you. "You've done well," says the man in red. You spin around, mesmerized again by his extraordinary presence. Give me the blade. You nod and hand over the sacred artifact. The stranger holds it in his left hand, feeling the weight before reaching into his robe and producing a second identical blade. Merely looking at both blades at the same time causes your eyelids to flicker involuntarily. It is not, you realize, that there are two blades. Both are the same blade, which he is holding in both hands. Then, with no apparent effort on his part, you see only one blade, which he stores in his robe. What happens now, you ask? Now, he seems momentarily confused by the question. Now your part in the course of destiny is over. You're free to do as you please. Your life no longer has any specific purpose. But it would certainly be possible to exist. But what about the safe house? Your organization? You said you would protect me. There is no organization, and no safe house. His image is utterly fading, taking the blade with him. I apologize for deceiving you, but the redemption you seek for your selfish act of short-sighted butchery is not in my or anyone's power to give. Evil like that, Miss Renaud, must be suffered for. And then he's gone. In the morning, the disappearance of Freehorn's blade sends a shockwave through the Order of Blessed Agonies. It does not take long for even an amateur investigator to gather the evidence needed to convict you. And the thought of what pain worshippers would do to a person's punishment sent shivers down your spine. Fortunately, by the time they find you, you are already 6 miles away, fatally crumpled up inside the wreck of a stolen car. The Order of Blessed Agonies, robbed for the second time, bitterly continue their construction. You succeeded in your task. Yeah, so these games are a bit morbid. We have one more to go. I was actually just gonna do them all in one go, but I want to charge my my keyboard before I do the next one, because I don't like using the laptop keyboard. It's a pain in the ass. Anyway, please like and subscribe if you like this content, and until next time, remember, a mind is a terrible thing. Goodbye.